Hello and welcome to the Cetopo tutorial on Revit. Now Revit will get a plugin eventually, but for now this is the best way to use Revit and Cetopo together. So let's just select some place. We use the selection sharing option to quickly select a place. Now let's say we're interested in this property here. So first we're just gonna select a little bit bigger area than just the property, and that area we're gonna go here to the Revit template which we have made here. It doesn't really matter, but you just have to choose a Revit tab here, and we're gonna crank up the detail a little bit so we get a nice high detail in the inner region. So let's just select it like this. Just make sure you have some unit like meters or something here. You just have to remember what you have selected. And Revit doesn't like huge coordinates, so it's better to just use centering. Okay, so let's just take this file and see what we get. Okay, there we go. We have our inner region area. Now let's also select some of the surrounding forest. As you can see, there's plenty of interesting details to go around here, and we want to see what they are. So this time it's okay, we can choose a lower detail like 20, or let's even put something even lower like 15 to get a really light model. Make sure you have the same coordinate system and units and so on. You can actually save this for the future and download that as well. Now we're also going to need a Dxf file. We don't need the terrain because we're using the Revit CSV terrain, so we're just going to uncheck terrain and water just to be sure, and make sure you have the same coordinate system and unit, as well as perhaps centering as you had in the Revit settings. They should be okay. We could also just turn off the hatches, which we don't want perhaps in Revit. It's up to you, of course, what you want, but I don't want them. So I download this. Now we have a Dxf and 2 CSV files. Let's head over to Revit and see what we have and how we can use this. Okay, let's start by opening the Dxf file. So we go to Insert and Import CAD. Now it's the newest one, so that would be number 7. Okay, we open that one and make sure you have the same unit here, and is there anything else? You should, well, uncheck everything. Just make sure it looks a bit like this. Okay, and there we go. Here we have the Dxf. Right now we have a little bit too much details here perhaps, so we can use the query tool up here after selecting the block to just get rid of some of these unnecessary coordinate grids, for example. We can keep the information grid for now, it's perhaps informative. Okay, now we have the Dxf with the properties and the roads as well as some buildings. Let's go ahead and import the CSV files for the terrain itself. So we head over here to Massing and Site, we press Topo Surface, and we select Create from Import and Specify Points file. Now you have downloaded a CSV file, which is exactly what it wants. You can also apparently have a text file, but a CSV works just as well. Make sure again that you select the correct unit. Wait a little while, and there we go. Here we have our point cloud, and as you can see, Cetopo has definitely done a good job of putting increased high point density in the steep areas and less points here in the fields where there's less detail in general. So it looks pretty good. Okay, let's accept this finish surface, and now we can see that it's actually not correctly positioned. This is a bit unavoidable, unfortunately, but it's very easy to place it to satisfying precision like this. we can actually see that it's very accurate. So we probably don't have to worry about that for now. Okay, now we have a terrain, which looks pretty good. But we also downloaded the interior area with a higher density. So let's actually just start by downloading that, or placing that other area as well. So that was the first one we downloaded. Same units. Okay, and there we go. It's probably good. Let's just move it out here. We can see it's actually, if we edit surface, we can see that it's much denser. There's a lot more points here, and it looks very good. Let's begin then by cutting a hole for it. We want the hole to be exactly that property boundary. In this case, of course, you could cut any other type of hole as well. So, no, not edit surface. We want to split surfaces. And split surfaces. And like that, yes. And now there's probably another way to do this as well, but you can choose the pick lines tool from here and just take, okay, maybe it's better if we're in the top view, and just pick one line at a time and lock them. At least this works for me. There's probably many other ways to do this, but this is the first one I got working. Right, now we have selected it. Let's just press the green check mark. Okay. Did we forget something? Oh, we forgot one little line. Okay, now it works. Great. Okay, so now we have a hole. We don't need the low detail version, but we can just put it next to here just to see the difference. It's not a huge difference, but you can see some places have a little bit more detail, and the shape here especially is significantly better in this one. So let's just go ahead and delete that area and move our detailed version in. Now positioning the detailed version can be a bit challenging, but it shouldn't be too hard. Just to figure out which line goes where. Okay, now I seem to have found a pretty decent. There we go. I mean, the contour lines obviously should match if it's correctly placed, because they're the same height. Perhaps like that? No? Yes? Okay. Looks pretty okay. Let's just be fine with that. And then we can start splitting this new surface. We just do exactly the same thing again. Oh, let's not forget any lines, so we don't get the same error as last time. All right. And this time we delete the outer area. Okay, so now we have an inner region of high detailed, high point density terrain, and an outer region with very low point density and still decent looking terrain. So that would be how you import terrains into Revit. Now there's more things you can of course do. You can do some building paths by selecting these building lines. I'm not sure what it does, but I'm sure you know. Where did the last one go? Nope. Where is the last line? Huh. Okay. Let's try again. Top view saves effort. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. So now we have a building pad there. And you could do all kinds of things, I suppose, for the roads as well if you want. But yeah, this is how it works in Revit. So just to repeat massing and site, topo surface, create from import, specify points file to get the CSV. All right, thanks for watching.